Hey guys, Jake here, and today I'm here with the semifinals for the CPC. And before I get into the video, I'm just going to address one thing, and that is, I know this video is like a week late, and I knew my reasoning for that. Basically, this week for me was exam week in school, and um, basically, YouTube is not my first priority. School is. I am in high school, and I do want to put in good grades. This is my first ever year, or this is not first ever year, but this is a very important year for me, and I really wanted to do good in my exams. I studied very hard. Um, Basically, I studied 3 to 4 hours a day, and I would always get home from school at 4 o'clock. So basically, I would only be able to like have free time starting at like 9 o'clock, because I would also do other stuff like eat dinner, chores, and yeah, because I was spending so much time studying, it was always usually too late for me to record. I can't really record past 9 o'clock a lot of the time, so it was just really hard for me to record with me having to study and everything. So I hope you guys understand why that's late. So yeah, I really apologize for that, guys, but um, I will definitely be able to put out more consistent uploads, because this is now the weekend. I have more free time, and I only have 2 exams left, and I don't have to like get home from school at 4. So yeah. Also, I played the game last Sunday, so I didn't really have much time to record, and yeah. So basically, anyway, this week we're playing semifinals versus Rise Pool, coach of the Rhine Valley Guardians. He is a very, very good player. He beat TTM Sticks week 1, or round 1 of playoffs, which is a very good accomplishment. We're pretty good friends, and yeah, so we did manage to defeat him week 2. But the thing about this matchup is, I uploaded my battle with like all my sets, all my spreads, all that, but he didn't. He didn't upload his. I assume there was a reason behind that, but basically, I don't know like any of the sets he brought. Um, for the first set, and he knows all mine, which really puts me at a disadvantage, I feel. We also both made some transactions. Now I have Infernape and Haxorus over Hydreigon and Hawlucha, and now I have, I believe, Seismitoad or Rhyperior over Seismitoad, and he has Gallade and Tyranitar over Tornadus, and I can't remember the other Pokemon, but basically he doesn't have Tornadus Eye anymore, which is a big relief. So yeah, but basically this matchup I feel is pretty even. We both have some pretty big threats to each other's team, but I'll go through the matchup ups right now. His team consists of Scolipede, Pianxiao, Mew, Volcarona, Suicune, Gallade, Megazord, Tyranitar, Volibee, and Stunfisk, and he can use Z Scolipede and Z Gallade. So first off, he's got the Scolipede. Scolipede's kind of a big threat to my team, but I do have pretty good checks to it. Not the most threatening mon. He didn't bring it week 2, so I wouldn't be all too surprised if he didn't bring it this game. But yeah, if my team is tripped, then I definitely could be just lose to the Scolipede. So I definitely need to be careful with it. He's also got the Mienshao. Mienshao, I have a couple good checks to Mienshao, but if like those get out of the way, Mienshao just goes ham on my team. He's also got the Mew. Mew is definitely the biggest threat to my team. Especially a set of Mew, either Calm Mind or Nasty Plot, I feel are the biggest threats to my team. And I just can't really check those sets at all. It's really hard for me to hit Mew hard. I don't have the best like safe switch-ins to it, like the best middle ground plays. It's just really hard for me. Volcarona, I do have some pretty good answers to it, but it is a Volcarona, and when played right, it could always really hurt someone's team. He's also got the Suicune. Suicune is a huge nuisance to my team. Basically, it was a lot of my offensive win cons, which is pretty unfortunate. But I can try and, if I can weaken that thing early, it really helps some of my other mons. He's also got the Z Gallade. Gallade is a ginormous threat to my team. Basically, its dual stabs really hit my team hard. And besides Mega Guard for, which it can run Shadow Sneak for, and yeah, Gallade's a pretty big threat, especially with Z moves. And it's overall pretty good. Natural Bull can take hits from stuff like Manaphy pretty well. There's also got the Mega Scizor. Mega Scizor pretty big threat. While some stuff like Haxorus on my team, and Sneasel. So yeah, it does that, and I only really have one or two mons with fire coverage on my team, which is quite annoying, but I can deal with it. So yeah, also the Tyranitar is a pretty threatening mod because it could be a lot of different sets. It could be Scarf, it could be Band. Scarf actually outspeeds the entirety of my team, including Sneasel, which is pretty annoying. And it could just be a rock set. And yeah, he's also got the Volibee. Volibee I don't see coming, has a pretty terrible matchup. And same with Sunfisk in all honesty, so I don't really feel I need to worry about those mons too much. And my team, of course, is the Sneasel, Infernape, Z-Manaphy, Mega Gardevoir, Haxorus, Kangaskhan, Golbat, Metagross, Rhyperior, and Amoonguss. So the first one I decided to put on this team was this Infernape. Now I messed around with a lot of Infernape sets, but I decided to go with this one in the end. Sword Stance, Dual Stab, Encore. I don't need priority this game because the only one that naturally outspeeds Infernape on his team is indeed Scolipede, and Mach Punch won't be doing that much to it anyway. This thing is crucial because it can hit Mega Scizor and T-Tar really hard. Also does a ton to Flare Blitz with Flare Blitz to Volcarona. Encore is nice because if I can play aggressively around this with Mew, if I think he's going to set up, I can go into Infernape and Encore and lock him in, and then maybe Swords Dance on the following turn and fire off a big Flare Blitz, which is really, really nice. The Charcoal is there because it gets me an important KO on the Mew. And yeah, I believe it ensures that I can kill it at +2. Yeah, so that's really nice. I overall just hit this team really hard. The biggest problem to this set is the Suicune, but I can just like close combat that and get some nice chip off and weaken his team. If he wants to like go for something like rest, if I know he's gonna rest, I can go into this Infernape, Encore, set up a Sword Stance, and just be in a great spot. Encore plus SD is really nice combo this game, and yeah, this month's gonna put in a lot of work. I'm just speed creeping max speed Mienshao, I believe. And yeah, this month's gonna put in a ton of work this game, I know. Next up, I've got my physically defensive Amoonguss with a Rocky Helmet, Spore Toxic, HP Fire, Clear Smog. Pretty similar to the set I brought week 2. Basically, this thing is designed to help me take hits from Mienshao. I can take hits from Scolipede as well. I can kind of deal with Suicune as well, as I can just I can just Toxic it, Clear Smog, and force him to rest. This thing can also be quite a nuisance to the Scizor, as well as I can Spore it, HP Fire it to KO it. I can put stuff like T-Tar to sleep. So it's pretty nice in that regard. I can also take hits from Gallade pretty well. Zen Headbutt doesn't do that much because of Amoonguss's bulk. And yeah, definitely a nice mod in this game. Big problem to this set is one safety goggles mods, and 2 Mew. I do have the Clear Smog on this, so I can Clear Smog the Mew if I absolutely have to stay in with this. So yeah, basically this thing is here to just help me deal with some of his physical attackers. I can switch this in, put stuff to sleep, scout for safety goggles mods, and yeah. Next up, I've got my Golbat, rocking the Eviolite. Mostly physically defensive as well. Brave Bird, Roost, Your Turn, and Heat Wave. Despite having Brave Bird, I am bold, just because I don't really need I don't really mind because Brave Bird does a lot to Volcarona, Mienshao, Scolipede anyway. Heat Wave is so I can 2-KO Mega Scizor, because weakening Mega Scizor is a big part of my game plan this week. U-Turn's nice for momentum, Roost for recovery, obviously. Yeah, this speed investment outspeeds that I can ensures that I can outspeed an adamant Tyranitar unless I'm Scarfed, and I can U-turn out, and I can live like something like a Scarf Starnage, and I would like U-turn out, get that information, which is really nice. This thing is here to basically helps me check Scolipede as well. He could be Z-Rock Slide, but if I know that is very, very valuable information. Helps me deal with Scizor as well. I can take it from Lilade quite nicely as well. I can also take like a +1 Psychic with Volcarona after Rocks. I believe that's what this investment is for. So yeah, pretty nice mod in this game. Amoonguss plus Golbat is a pretty nice core overall. This is why Gallade is a big threat though, because it really threatens my core of Amoonguss and Golbat. But yeah, next up I've got my Rhyperior. Mixed defensive Rhyperior this week, rocking Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Roar, and Rock Blast. This thing, I put this on the team because I felt like Scarf Tyranitar was a massive threat to my team. Also, Rocks were nice on this team. I can also check Scolipede relatively well. Rocks are big for Volcarona. I can take something like a Bug Buzz from Volcarona if he doesn't run Giga Drain. Roar is nice to get up to roar out potential setup like Mew, Scizor. These dual stabs hit his team really hard. I can also take a close combat from Gallade if need be. Also take something like a high jump kick from Mienshao. It's pretty hard for him to run coverage on Scolipede for both Golbat and Rhyperior. Like he can't have Z Aqua Tail and the Z Rock Slide, which is pretty nice. And yeah, pretty nice on this game. Just here to pretty much help me check his physical mons and yeah, just get up Rocks, do its thing, do what Rhyperior does. And next up, I've got my Mega Gardevoir. Pretty bulky Mega Gardevoir this week, rocking Hyper Voice, Psyshock, Taunt, and HP Fire. I'm speed creeping my Metagross by a few points in case that's what he wants to speed creep with stuff like Gallade, Mew, yeah, stuff like that. I can also outspeed stuff like T-Tark, get off a big Hyper Voice off. I believe this special attack investment ensures that either HP Fire kills any Scizor after Rocks or Hyper Voice into HP Fire will OHKO. It varies, but F Scizor. I'm very bulky because I slice to take physical hits from some things on his team, such as like Scizor, because I can actually take a Bullet Punch, Scarf Tyranitar, Mienshao, Shadow Sneak from Gallade, and Side Shock to KO stuff like Volcarona. It's nice I can hit Suicune if it has Calm Minds up. Taunt is very important in this game. It's good for stuff like Mew, Suicune. Just stop that thing from setting up. So yeah, pretty good mon this game. And then last up, I have a very similar set to week 2. I've got a Waterian Z, Tail Glow Surf, Energy Ball, Heart Swap, Mew. Just a refined EV spread this game. I'm not really going to go into this EV spread, but just trust me, it works. Basically, helps me take stuff. It helps me take hits from Scolipede, Scizor, Gallade, Tyranitar, Volcarona, all around. The Heart Swap is for Volcarona. I can take a +1 Giga Heart Swap and be a +1/+1. I am Waterian Z instead of Leftovers this time because I didn't feel like the longevity was that needed, and being able to throw off a really huge hit versus something like Scizor or Mew could be really clutch, I felt. So yeah, I decided to go with that. Very solid mon this game. Could definitely sweep if the right circumstances allow. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the battle. Alright, here we are with the match versus Risepool, and he decided to bring a squad of Scolipede, Mienshao, Gallade, Tyranitar, Mew, and Mega Scizor. So some interesting things to note. He did not bring the Volcarona, which is pretty relieving because no one likes to get swept by a Volcarona. Could have been a big threat. And he did also not bring the Suicune for the second time in a row, which kind of surprised me because I thought Suicune was kind of unnecessary to help him check in for a name, but he decided not to. So that's actually really really relieving. He also didn't bring the Vullaby or the Stunfisk, which is no surprise to me really. But yeah, so basically I'm decided to lead off with my Rhyperior because I'm kind of expecting a T-Tar lead, and yeah, so he does indeed lead off with this Rhyperior, or Tyranitar, and he leads off with my Rhyperior. So here, he definitely could have Aqua Tail, and I heavily debated scouting for that, but the only way he could kill me is with Banded Aqua Tail, and I thought a long time on this turn, and I thought, one, weakening my Rhyperior would be really nice for his Scolipede, but also I can live any hit, and rocks are very nice for this game, especially for stuff like his Mew and Scolipede. So he could definitely be Banded Aqua Tail, but I feel like he has other potential moves. Like if he's Banded, he'll definitely have Stone Edge, Crunch, probably Pursuit, and I was thinking maybe Earthquake, and he also could just have rocks. So I decided to just make pretty aggressive play and just go for my rocks turn 1. And as you're going to see, he does go for the Aqua Tail, and that doesn't kill me, meaning he's definitely not banded, and he's not actually a boosting item at all. So I'm thinking he's either Scarf or he is just an offensive T-Tar, because that is offensive damage. Now I'm gonna switch into my Mungus because because I know there's a decent chance he could just go for another Aqua Tail as he just gets up his rocks. So now that I know his Tyranitar is indeed not Scarf. So yeah, on this following turn, I'm just gonna fire off a Spore, and I can scout first potential safety goggles Pokemon. Yeah. Basically, yeah. So I'm just gonna fire off a Spore. As he just goes for the Stone Edge, and I'm thinking, crap, these goggles, but he's actually not, which is good. And because I don't have grass coverage on the Amoonguss, I'm going to switch out on this following turn into my, I believe, Manaphy, because I would be able to set up as he actually goes into a Scizor. Now here is a pretty big turn in the match. So Manaphy versus Scizor, and I'm thinking I really want to weaken this Scizor. It's really good for my Gardevoir, and pretty much guarantees my Gardevoir kill if I ever get in. So I decided to just go for the Watery MC. This was a pretty controversial play. In hindsight, I'm really not sure if it was my best play, but I just the big damage on Scizor could have been nice, because I'm not really, as I figured he's probably going to go for something like a U-turn, get like Chip Off, and yeah, as he actually goes hard into his Glade, and I go for the Hydro Vortex, and that does an okay amount. Basically that damage reveals that he is probably an offensive Glade, but he is Z-Glade, so I'm thinking there's a good chance, by the way he switches in, it could be Bloom Doom, Z-Leaf Blade, and I don't really want my Manaphy to take this much damage. A Surf will not kill him, so I decided to sack off my Rhyperior on this turn, and I do just that, as he actually is indeed Bloom Doom. So, yeah, now, because he killed my Rhyperior, I'm going to bring in my Infernape, and just fire off a Flare Blitz as he just sacks off his Glade. So, yeah, now he decides to go into his Mew. Basically, before the game, I knew that if I was in a situation like this where he brings in his Mew and I can't kill it, I would go into my Gardevoir, because I can stop it from like setting up Calm Minds with Taunt, because there would be a good chance I would outspeed it, because I do have a pretty good amount of speed investment. And I can just see what he wants to do. So, yeah, I just go hard into my Gardevoir on this turn, as he goes for the Psychic. And that damage reveals that he's definitely an offensive Mew. Probably not a boosting item, but it is definitely good information to have. So yeah, it's good information to have, but it's also pretty threatening, because Nasty Plot Mew, because that's what I'm kind of thinking he is a pretty huge threat to my team. It sets up on a line of my team. So now I'm just going to fire off a Hyper Voice, I believe. No reason to over-predict, because Hyper Voice will do a solid amount to the Scizor, and like, I don't want to HP Fire as he goes for something like a Shadow Ball and 2 KOs me. That would just be absolutely terrible. So yeah, I Mega Evolve, go for the Hyper Voice, as he does indeed go into the Scizor. And that's probably an offensive Scizor from that damage. But still, I'm going to go into my Golbat, because I can take hits pretty well from it. As he Mega Evolves and just goes for the Bug Bite. Which is pretty interesting. He was Bug Bite, meaning if I went for something like Tail Glow with my Manaphy earlier on, I could have been in a spectacular position. Yeah, it pretty much explains why he didn't do that. But yeah, now I'm just going to go for the Roost, because I want to be healthy as possible to deal with stuff like Scolipede and something like a Scarfy and Shell later on. So yeah, as he goes for the Swords Dance, now there is a good chance I will outspeed this Mega Scizor, and I can kill it with the Heat Wave. So I'm just going to go straight for that. He is indeed in range, so I just go for the Heat Wave, and I do kill him, which is very nice. So now he goes out into his Mew. Now basically, I don't want to go hard into anything. I will definitely be undersped by this Mew, and Golbat is important, but not needed, because like basically really at this point it's really only needed to check the Scolipede, but I do have an Amoonguss which can support it or HP Fire it. I do have a pretty healthy Manaphy, and I do have not really, it's an Infernape and Rage Earthquake. Infernape isn't checked, but basically my thought process was I have a Amoonguss and I have Manaphy for Scolipede, and I feel like his play is set up here because if he does, he would be in a great position because he really doesn't know I'm Encore Infernape, and like +2 would allow him to kill Gardevoir with Shadow Ball. So I'm going to go for the U-turn on this turn, as that play actually does work out. That was a pretty aggressive play, but now I can go into my Infernape. Now here, I'm not really sure his other spread. He could be pretty bulky, so I'm just going to play it safe on this turn and go for the Encore so I can lock him into Nasty Plot if need be, as he actually just goes into his Tyranitar. And I'm not sure if he's expecting that or just sacking it to Flare Blitz, but now I can just click Close Combat and knock out his Tyranitar because he is asleep. Now here he goes out into Scolipede. Now basically, if Scolipede sets up a Swords Dance now, and I were to like sack Golbat or something, I lose the game. Simple as that. Amoonguss would die, Golbat would die to Rock Slide, and I can't really allow that. Infernape isn't necessary to win this game, I thought, because I do have my Manaphy, which can potentially hard swap Mew. I do have my Gardevoir, which could hit it with hard Hyper Voice and still live an unboosted Shadow Ball from this range. And I really didn't want him setting the Swords Dance predicting my sack. That would just mean I would lose the game. But in hindsight, because I know Rice was kind of a safe player, I really wish I just sacked something else, something maybe like my Golbat. But yeah, as you're gonna see, I'm just gonna stay in with my Infernape and Flare Blitz because I thought I really couldn't allow him to set up a Swords Dance as he just kills me with Earthquake. So what now I'm forced to bring in my Amoonguss because it's the only thing that can live a hit and I can fire off a Spore. And I'm thinking, I really don't think he's safety goggles on anything else, because if he was safety goggles on anything else, I thought he would have switched it in when I went into Amoonguss versus the Tyranitar. So I feel like I'm pretty safe to fire off a Spore as he actually goes into his Mew and reveals that he is indeed safety goggles, which makes this game a whole lot difficult. Because this Mew is a ginormous threat to my team. Because he is offensive, I'm thinking he will probably outspeed my Gardevoir, probably outspeed my Manaphy, and can just kill my Amoonguss and Golbat with Psychics. So on this turn, I need to make a very aggressive play. I need to clear Smog because I'm thinking he could very well Nasty Plot, expecting me to either sack my Gardevoir or go hard Gardevoir or sack something like Golbat, and I'm gonna go for the clear Smog because it will ensure that it will get necessary damage off that I really need. I definitely won't do too much, but like I can't Spore. It's my hardest hitting attack, so I'm gonna go straight for that as he goes for the Nasty Plot, and I get that play correct. So I don't lose quite yet. Now expecting him to Psychic. Because I expected him to Psychic, because if he could just get rid of this, it puts us me and Shoutout and Scolipede in a great spot. So I'm gonna go hard into my Manaphy because I can live 2 Psychics and kill him with the Surf. And as he does, go for the Psychic, and now I'm just gonna go for the Surf. He could definitely go hard on me and Shoutout, but I just want to kill this Mew if possible, because now I'm thinking Life Orb, me and Shoutout is a huge threat to my team. If I let Amoonguss get weakened, I lose to something like the Life Orb, me and Shoutout, so I can't really, I figured that might be his way of winning at this point with Scolipede plus that, so I just fire for Surf as he goes hard into his me and Shoutout. Now here I decide to sack off my Manaphy because it's too low to deal with Mew. It will, die to a Psychic from Mew at this point, so I just sack off my Manaphy as he goes straight for the high jump kick. Now let me talk about this play for a while. So basically, Golbat can take a high jump kick and roost up, meaning it would be able to deal with Golbat later on the match. But the thing is, one, just because I didn't see a Life Orb, it doesn't mean he's not choiced, or he's not choiced, because he could be something like Expert Belt, and that was definitely on the top of my mind, because the other thing I was fearing was Acrobatics, because I stupidly did not check a team preview whether he had an item or not. I actually don't know if Shoutout even has that feature or not, but I know that now when you hover over it, it doesn't show you if like item exists or whatever. And I was kind of feeling like acrobatics might be a set to deal with Amoonguss, because I did make it very clear that my Amoonguss was my check to me and Chow in our week 2 game, and I'm definitely assuming Rice will watch my builder. So Amoonguss can definitely live an acrobatics and kill with rocky helmet damage into clear smog. So I didn't want to go into Golbat because one, it could give him a free switch into mute, which I really could not allow. Yeah, because I wasn't sure if he would have Roost at this moment in time, because basically Psychic plus Shadow Ball hits my entire team apart from Sneasel, which Sneasel honestly has a terrible matchup this game, and I was thinking he would probably not prepare for it that much, because I made it very evident that it doesn't. And he has so many checks of Sneasel on his team. He has one Scolipede, Scarf Mienshao, Tyranitar, Mega Scizor, Suicune. Yeah, so and if you're thinking he would have went for the Roost versus Amoonguss, my thought process was he didn't really need Mew that healthy in my opinion, and he could have just nasty botted in case he thought I would have gone hard Gardevoir. Otherwise, he would have died to the next Hyper Voice. So, and yeah, Golbat would have just maybe potentially lose to Mew, because I would have been in a really bad position between either U-turning or he would have either roosted and gone healthy or nasty plotted and won the game. Cause or he would have roosted and then it wouldn't have been good. I couldn't really allow a free switch into Mew, and he could have also not been Scarf. So basically, what I do on this turn is go into my Amoonguss, because I can kill this Mienshao and with helmet into clear smog. So I do just that. And now basically, I realize he's gonna go into Mew here, and this game literally will come down to a 50-50. He knows I lose to Scolipede unless I keep this Amoonguss around. If he nasty plots here and I go hard into my Gardevoir or I sack my Golbat, he pretty much loses to Gardevoir. So yeah, this is a 50-50, because he either nasty plots on my switch or he Psychics getting rid of my Amoonguss. And basically, I decide to stay in and go for the clear smog. It will kill this Mew, and it will basically it cover if he nasty plots and I clear smog, I win the game, because I can live any hit from Scolipede, Sport, HP Fire it down, and like yeah, it wouldn't be able to kill me at all. I can even switch out with regen if need be. So yeah, if he Psychics though, and I stay in, I lose the game. But also, if I nasty bot and I switch, I lose the game. Guard drops +2 Shadow Ball, so does Amoonguss, and Golbat dropped +2 Psychic. And yeah, it's basically 50-50. He knows I need to keep this around, and I go for Clear Smog because I figured Risepool has been playing pretty safe this whole game, and I figured he might try and change this up this turn and go for the Clear Smog, expecting my switch. So yeah, for that reason, I decided to go for the Clear Smog, and as you can see, he goes for the Psychic, meaning I lose to Scolipede, unless he doesn't have Rock Slide. So now I have to go into my Gardevoir. I just click Hyper Voice because in case he did have Roost, and I knew he would never go Scolipede. And here I have to Side Shock in case he wants to pull a weird Swords Dance play, as he just kills me with Earthquake. So now I have to hope he doesn't have Rock Slide. I go for the Heat Wave in case of potential Cloba Berry, and as you're going to see, he does have Rock Slide, he does land, and I lose the game. I lost to a 50-50 pretty much, which was really upsetting to me because nobody likes losing to 50-50s because it's kind of not, because I know there's really no such thing as a true 50-50, but basically I lost to a coin flipper as close as you can get in Pokemon, and I'm really upset because I really wanted to make finals, prove myself, and I really wanted to play Gypsy King in the finals because I had actually been thinking of the team for a while. I had some cool sets like Balloon and Fernape in mind, and yeah, really upset that I lost this game. Also, pretty upset that I didn't go Golbat versus the Mew Shell because I could have had a chance to win. Also, not switching out my Infernape because if I had my Infernape in this late game, it would have been really clutch because I would have had it for the Mew. So yeah, really upset that I lost this game. So yeah, I might return to next season of CPC. I'm really not sure. Honestly, it probably depends on if the commissioner does his job. The commissioner has been very inactive, and that honestly bothers me quite a lot because commissioners are supposed to do their job. They're supposed to be active, and they haven't really done much for the league at all, which really bothers me. And two, the coach lineup because I want to play with some good friends next season in the league. So yeah, coach lineup is always a big factor in me joining leagues. Like I have a lot of good friends in CPC like Techno, Hiker, Mio, Razpool. So yeah, I might join CPC, maybe not. I'm not sure, but anyway, thank you for supporting the support on the season. Thank you so much for the support on the season. That's another thing. Thank you so much for the support in the season. I really didn't think my channel would even get to 70 subscribers. But I did do pretty good in CPC last season and this season as well. So I kind of gained traction. But yeah, thank you for all the support. I didn't think I would get this big. I know I'm not really that huge, but I really appreciate it a lot. Also, thanks to all the guys who helped me throughout the season. I want to give special shoutouts to Aceofbass, who helped me a lot during the playoffs. Bronson, BeML, my boy Jack. Jack always really helped me a lot. Doogal, who knocked me a lot. Mio, who else? IceDemonGray, my boy. Also, can't forget ABP. John. Yeah, thank all you guys for watching and helping. Yeah, see you guys next time. Not sure when my next upload will be, but yeah, see you guys next time. Peace.